Yeah, my mic was off. Thank you. Yeah, no, I almost never mute my mic, so I just forgot about it. But yeah, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Is that a brick house overcharge or damage implant as your profile picture? That's very interesting. If you just got that implant and you're just like super excited about it, I've got some bad news for you. We need Nomad and EM rifles. There may or may not have been a video around that. It's the Stalker implant. Well, I still got bad news for you. I may or may not have recorded that video based on the prompt from that poll that you guys voted for. So, you got the day off work. You can actually join this stream. Hey, let's go. 1v1. No, absolutely not. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I put this on the thumbnail, but also, I kind of want to try a Bastion, just because Bastion works with some, like, strangely well with some very interesting things. But, yeah, no, so today is mostly going to be Suppressor 8 hybrid stuff. If you guys don't know how Suppressor works, essentially you shoot people and then it applies a status effect that reduces the damage that they deal. And the first hit stacks like 15%, and then all the consecutive hits only stack 5. But I have this implant here that increases it by 6%. It's pretty bad. You hate Stalker. You just like how it looks. Okay, well, I mean, most of the reason I had bad news for you was not because the mech itself was bad, but because the implant doesn't work. The implant does not actually work in the game currently. It doesn't actually increase your damage by any amount. So it's like actually useless. But yeah, so this will reduce the damage that the enemies deal. And since it's an 8, which fun fact, for whatever reason, the 8 and the 6 and the 10, I mean, those are the only ones that we have so far. So, I mean, 12 and 16 theoretically could be different, but they reduce the enemy damage by the same amount. Which means, in terms of hybrids, actually just like using the lowest amount of energy possible is pretty much the best idea. Suppressor carbine. Well, so the goal is to use them on mostly medium mechs. I suppose I could do a Suppressor 6 and a carbine 10. But putting them on medium mechs means that I can have double the energy capacity on my main weapon, and then the Suppressor, which is like not very strong, it doesn't actually output a whole lot of damage. That's going to be like just basically the least amount of energy possible. In this case, it's the 8. I do have the 6, but like, you know, the 8's just kind of better. Obviously, the energy's not going to go to the other one. 12 and 12 or 10 and 12 for what? This hybrid? I mean, this hybrid wouldn't work with it. I don't have it. The Suppressor 12 doesn't even work, so... Or, doesn't work. It doesn't exist, that's what I mean. I don't know what I'm saying. What are some other... I mean, I do have 2 Suppressor 8s, so what's another build you guys think would be interesting as a hybrid? Carbine 12 and Suppressor 10. Okay, but if you want it to actually work, you have to reduce the modifier weapon by as much as possible. You know? You see what I'm saying? Because if I'm a medium mech and if I just erase this weapon entirely, I'm still left with a 16 energy weapon, which is most of my energy capacity, right? It's still most of my energy capacity, even if this doesn't do anything. If I have a 10 and 12, then erasing the 10 leaves me with literally a 12. It's significantly worse, you know? You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with, like, overheat weapons. Or not overheat. It's called weaken now. But, like, Ember Gun and Thermal Lance. You want to make sure that those modifier weapons have the least amount of energy possible, so that you can put a high energy weapon as your main weapon. Hellfire and Arc Turret. Hellfire actually... Hellfire and Hornet. Carbide. What is it with you and Carbide, bro? My man... Okay. My man really, really wants to see Carbine. Okay. Lucky for you, my Carbine 10 is rank 6, don't ask why. Let me see, where's the Suppressor 6? There you go. But yeah, Hellfire, I mean, Hellfire obviously is really bad, but what's interesting is that I think stealth duration, cooldown, damage and reload. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the burn damage is the same regardless. You know? Like the effects of, like, let's say Hornet and Hellfire. As a single weapon, they're actually like better than they would be as double weapons. Like, if your option was to use one or two, then, you know, a single Hellfire is probably better than a single of several other things, but, like, double Hellfire is worse. But the reason it's worse is because the only thing that double does in terms of Hellfire actually doesn't double your damage, doesn't double the effect damage. It only doubles the speed that you apply it, but then after you apply it, it's effective for like 10 seconds, and so like at that point, it does, like, you don't really need to keep applying it. So yeah, no, it's a very interesting situation right there. Suppressor 12 and Chain Gun 12, no. Suppressor 12 doesn't exist. There's no Suppressor 12. And again, if you want a hybrid build to work, you have to not split the energy half and half. That's not the way to do it. You want to do like what we're doing here, which is a 16 and 8. Would you want me to do a Chain Gun 16 and a Suppressor 8? Because I actually could, since I mean my other 8 is not being used. Yes, he says. Okay. On what? What mech do you think I should use it on? It has to be a medium mech, obviously. What do you think would be a good one for Suppressor and Chain Gun? Suppressor 8, Hornet 16. This guy already claimed the other Suppressor 8, so we could do a Suppressor 6, Hornet 16. But on what? Where's this guy? Eclipse, he says? Okay. Chain Gun. And then... where is it? Here we go. Reload, spin up, damage, and then... oh, okay, it's just gone, I guess. There we go. Damage and then duration. I do still have the Suppressor reload, but I'll save that for a different build. Let me change this to something that looks a little stranger. You accidentally wasted 1,300 Acorns on Advanced Implant Crate. That's very unfortunate, actually. You used to use Missile Rack and Disc Launcher on Guardian and Panther before mods. Probably before pilots, too, bro. Like, that was not going to be a good idea. It was not mods that made that not a good idea, I can tell you that much. Aegis with minigun 16, Storm Rack 8. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, there's no reason that would work, right? Because I can only pick a pilot that applies to one of them. And obviously it's going to be the 16 energy weapon for obvious reasons. But there's no real reason to use both of them on the same build. The reason that I want to test these hybrids specifically is because the suppressor weapon, even if it's a low energy, can modify the enemy damage output and keep me from dying, and then I still have most of my energy output left. So I lose about a third. I lose a third of my damage output, but if I fully suppress them, then they lose more than half of their damage output. So technically, it's like way better for me. And then it's the same thing with like weaken with like Ember Gun or whatever. Like those are good, or even stasis. That's like a reasonable hybrid weapon, modifier weapon to use. Having a different thing is just like, oh, I just use these two random weapons. There's kind of no reason to. But who was it that said they wanted one Hornet and one Suppressor? Like, what did you want it on? Obviously, it has to be a medium mech because it'd be a 6 and a 16 in this case. On Aegis, he says, okay. Let's see. One Hornet. One... Just make sure I don't pass it up. Suppressor. I'm kind of sad about Oracle. Oracle could have been a decent hybrid weapon, I feel like. But the reveal status effect, literally useless. If you ever thought, oh, maybe this would be like, no, it's not. Like, let me put your mind at ease. It's just not. Okay. Two options here. I could either A, use a legendary duration implant for the ability. Oh, the Hornet 16 is tiny on this thing. What in the world? The skin doesn't look right. Sure, I guess we'll use this one. So I could A, use a duration, or I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a Hornet Venom damage in the shop right now. Dome Radius. Escape, hello, welcome. Amol, please stop spamming. I'll start when I start. Is Storm Rack 6 or Missile Rack 8 better? Probably Storm Rack 6, to be honest. Cryo Launcher Suppressor Vortex. I'm all out of suppressors at the moment, but that's not a bad one. Are there guidelines for the type of hybrids? Mostly don't buy it. Okay. Someone says don't. Someone else says... Why am I ignoring you? Because you keep spamming Long Arm on Seeker. That's not a hybrid build. You're just spamming it because you think it'd be funny, but that's not the point of this stream. So I'm ignoring you. Alright, well, maybe I'll buy it later, but for now, I'll just do that. Wait, I didn't take it off of you, did I? Okay. And then, hold on, let me... And then I'll go cool down. Cool. All right. But anyway, yeah. So like, in general, we're doing suppressor hybrids. If there's a different one that you think like could actually potentially do well, that doesn't involve suppressor, then like let me know. I don't really think they exist though. Like, or at least they've all been used before. You know. Like they've already been done. But essentially, yeah, I'm trying to find builds that like actually could be decent, not just like use them for the sake of using them. All right, let's see. Capone. Very cool. Let's. Hey, buddy. It's Oracle Kill Shot. Very interesting. I'm not gonna bother using my suppressor all the time because I don't have like. Ugh. I mean, that's actually not bad. He didn't even try shooting at me, so I actually don't know how it would have felt if he did. Probably would have felt bad, not very nice. Probably would have been very sad. Okay. This... No, this is fine. Nope, don't do that. Oh, wait, hold on. He has Revoker. Wow. Okay. I mean, he barely got through my perimeter with that. That's not terrible. Oh, well. Of course he clips. But he does have Repeater, it looks like. So, please, 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 please. Oh, actually, I think that one stack of suppression is still on him. Potentially. Or Repeater's damage is just that bad. Honestly, it's probably both. Nice. I'm tempted to, like... My original plan was actually to just, like, record on my own time. To just, like, record by myself. And, just try some things that I thought could potentially work. But I'm doing it on stream mostly because I didn't have a video ready. But one of the things I was kind of thinking about is like, okay, well, like what kind of mechs do I want with... Like, what kind of mechs do I want with this kind of hybrid? This type of hybrid essentially just reduces the damage that enemies deal. So what kind of mechs would do good with that? And I'm thinking something that heals itself. Deathwalker's pretty obvious, but like also Stalker or Salver could be pretty good. Bastion also, just because, like, it doesn't heal itself, but it does keep getting its shield back. Well, that's unfortunate. We're still... I mean, we're still behind. It's not great. Hey. Yeah, okay. I was fairly confident... that, Oh, really? Oh, he's just gonna run. Yeah, he's just gonna run. That's fair. The MVP with that's actually kind of funny. If it was minigun and not chain gun, I mean, just the fact that chain gun's really, really bad. Could have done better. Could have done better. You wondered if Stalker would be okay with it? Like if you bought or got a 6 or 8 of the Suppressor? Yeah, I have the 6 and the 8. But I'm talking about, like, you know, like even now, like late game. Like, I'm thinking, like, you know, what mechs would do really good. Stalker in general is just bad primarily because it's so squishy, right? So it's mostly because it's so squishy. Because otherwise it can heal itself on kill. It has a stupid amount of damage output. The speed is not bad. So if it can force everything to deal less damage to it, it might be okay. All right, I'm going to get rid of this one because I did sort of decent with it. Swap the chain gun to minigun. I mean, I already have a minigun thing on here, so you're going to have to choose a different weapon. Mimicker with Suppressor? Actually, that's true. I keep forgetting that Mimicker exists, but the problem is that actually heavy mechs can never do well with hybrid builds, I don't think. I mean, unless Mimicker was using double Suppressor, in which case maybe it would just be like a decent support. But the thing is like, the Suppressor itself doesn't deal a lot of damage. So what it is it's a modifier weapon. I'm gonna time you out for spamming. 30 minutes. Bye-bye. So what it is it's a modifier weapon. It'll reduce the damage that I'm taking, but it also reduces the damage that I deal, right? And I need to make sure that this is proportional in my favor, right? There's a specific ratio of damage that I lose versus damage that they lose, and I need to make sure theirs is more than mine. See, in this case, I'm losing 30% of, or 1/3 of my damage, 33% of my damage output in the form of 1/3 of my energy being gone. In the form of this weapon that, like, we'll assume for the sake of argument that it deals 0 damage. It's like not a completely unreasonable assumption. It's basically a rounding error at this point. So we assume that this deals 0 damage. And so I'm losing 1/3 of my damage output. But if I fully suppress them, then they're losing like half, possibly more. They're losing about half of their damage output. So they're losing more damage than I am. But if I had, let's say, a Suppressor 16 and a Minigun 16 on a heavy mech, I'm losing half of my damage output. They're losing half of their damage output. I'm not putting myself strictly in an advantageous position. I don't have the advantage anymore. It's basically the same as if I didn't do it. But, you know, I'm wasting more implants to be able to use both weapons. And it's just just inconvenient, right? Like, but it has the same outcome, essentially. Except that I'd be significantly worse against, like, Eclipse or anything that can remove the effect. And also, I have to wait for, like, reload and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, essentially, a double 16, a 16 of one, 16 of the other, isn't advantageous, but in this case it is. Okay, well, yeah, we'll do the cryo launcher and suppressor vortex. Where is it? It's right here. I guess I'll do this one. So we'll go with cryo damage and cryo radius. And then, yeah, ability damage, ability duration. Or... yeah, okay. I don't think ability damage is better. I think cooldown is better. Because the ability damage doesn't do as much anymore. They changed it. Well, technically it was a bug and they fixed it, but that makes me sad. Stalker with Strike Rocket 16 and Helix 8 sorts the squishy issue. Again, why would I use 2 different weapons if I could just use 2 of the same weapon? If they work the exact same and one doesn't give me a benefit over the other, why would I even bother using 2 different ones? And again, like, yes, I could just use long range or indirect fire weapons on Stalker. But Stalker, like, could be, like, very good as, like, a brawler, because it keeps healing itself after every kill. So it could be really good as a brawler if it had more HP. And I can basically treat this Suppressor hybrid build as basically just a way of giving my mech more HP. Use Barrage Pilot on... Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought I did swap it, but I guess not. That's my bad. What did I have on here? Cooldown duration to damage radius. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see. Let me claim this real quick. I did, oh, Gemini, damn. I mean, I don't need it, but... I got the battle pass just for the credits, honestly. And also, I've had like nearly $30 worth of Google Play points, if anybody knows what that is. That I've been saving. I was gonna actually spend it, some of it, to get the battle pass for that Salver skin. I never ended up doing it. Kinda, I should have. Also, it shows that they're in a squad. That's phenomenal. I really like that. I don't know if you guys noticed. Not anymore. But, you know, when it loaded in. Hello. That's a cool Panther build. Aw. Let's go, buddy. Let's freaking go. We're ready. Oh yeah, Carbine's kind of OP, bro. Bastion. Oh, want to watch out, but you're dead. Oh, no, okay. He's fine. Hi. Bro, freaking flew in from the top ropes. Okay, well. Podgun Scorpius bot is kind of annoying. Let's go with this. Okay, this thing's about to end. There you go. That's some more. My suppressor reload time's not too bad, actually. Are you a Search? Are you Search? I got you, buddy. Oof. Would have died like 3 times over if I didn't give him that. Uh-oh. Hey there. Bye-bye. Oh. I need to reload this. Okay, he died immediately. Did that guy railgun him first? Like at this, or like at the same time? Cause he seemingly just immediately exploded in one shot to Cryo 16. I don't think that should happen. I don't think that should happen. There's a Eclipse up there. Yeah. Man, we're not having a great time of it. Oh, well, okay. Stop. Nah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah, okay, bye. Contesting it's not even a maxed Eclipse. Interesting. Oh, I forgot I have my main weapon on the left. I almost always put my main weapon on the right. Hey there. Hey, nice. I mean, I still took a freak load of damage because he marked me. I got the damage boost and the shield pierce from that, which wasn't super cool. It's okay. Nice. From the top ropes. Let's see. How's my guy doing over here? You got it? I don't think he does, to be honest with you. Okay, well, he just kind of glitched off to the side. Yeah, no, he doesn't got it. Bro, what am I supposed to do with you? Oh, I should have simply not done that. Should have waited. Pew, pew. Wait, really? Yeah, no, I'm dead. Wait. Haha, let's go. We win by the influence. Wasn't even paying attention. Do you keep aim assist on? Nah. On a competitive level, should we keep aim assist on? What a lot of people do is when they're using Stormrack, they'll use this aiming mode, and then when they go into a Revoker build, they'll switch to this aiming mode. I think switching is like, it's tedious, and honestly, like doing that is like super try hard. So I don't do that. I just keep it on the minimal myself because I think it's fine for everything. Like, I get to choose where I aim, so, like, you know, yeah. But generally, it's like, Revoker is one of those things where it's like, you don't want to miss. You want to, you know, it's good to have that aim assist on. But then, like, Stormrack is one of those things where it's like, you kind of want to miss, because then you can get the double damage from hitting people in the back. So that's just kind of like, yeah. Basically just that. If you're using Storm Orion, the damage that's meant for shields should go to actual HP. I don't strictly know. I will have to test that. Parasite or Brick House? Who's thicker? Brick? I mean, physically, Brick House always. All right, what's some other good ones? I used these two. Technically, I used this one as well. I could change these builds a bit. They weren't too bad. I kind of liked the Bastion, to be honest. Bastion's good, but the cooldown is freaking long. That's double the cooldown of Eclipse. And more than double the cooldown of Surge. So, like, a Surge could EMP you 2 times by the time you get your ability back. Which is just ridiculous. And the Surge EMP lasts longer than yours, than the Bastion just does. So that just makes it even more ridiculous. Just to remove radius back damage, it would solve so many issues. I kind of agree. I think the back damage multiplier is just a pain in the butt. That's kind of what makes Revoker so stupid, partially. It's also what makes radius weapons so stupid. But, you know, mods lessened that by quite a bit. Before mods and during the disc launcher era, I was definitely someone who advocated for just removing the back and side damage multipliers entirely. Arc 10 Suppressor 6 on Shadow. Why on Shadow, though? Alright, whatever. fancy time. Except not you. You. Okay, yeah, you're being used by a different one. I couldn't remember. Damage duration. I have a better duration, don't I? Yeah. Cool. Orion with Disruptor. That's not a hybrid build. Use Outlaw. I can't use heavy mechs as hybrid mechs. It doesn't work. And I'm not taking random build requests at the moment. Because arc only goes up to 12. I mean, I know, but, you know, I feel like Tengu would have been the better choice, honestly. But Ember instead of Cryo on Vortex. All right. Actually, the number of times I've used Ember Gun 16, I'm pretty sure is less than 5. Which is very, very interesting. There are very few weapons that I've almost never used, quite like Ember 16. Okay. What are some other ones? Like, I could change this Bastion. So, like, instead of Minigun 16, you could do a different one, or you could change the mech to a different mech, or you could do both. Stasis Beam and Storm Rack. Why would that even be remotely effective? Suppressor intended fragments. I could get rid of this. This is actually my last non-hybrid mech. I did a stream with Suppressor 10. It was the first Suppressor variant to come out, so I was excited, and I did a stream with Suppressor 10 hybrids. I'm pretty sure I did something similar to this, but sure. Whatever. Fragment gun, dash distance, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I probably want ability duration and ability cooldown, but like I kind of need the fragment gun implants as well. How do you do the lock-on thing to detect Eclipse? What do you mean? The thing to detect Eclipse is not like the lock-on, it's the like quick chat. On PC, it's just the number 3. So sometimes if I know that there's an Eclipse somewhere, I'll just kind of spam the number 3 just to see if I can mark it. But also, it's a matter of like, it's the aim assist is called minimal. It doesn't. What is it? What are the details? What does it say? Hold on, I don't want to say something that's not true. Minimal aim assist for manual control. It's not no aim assist. There's still some aim assist. It's just the aim assist is at a minimum. That's what minimal means, obviously. So when you are when you're just kind of looking around and you notice that you can't see somebody, but your cursor sort of just barely sticks on something that you can't see, that is usually an enemy in stealth. That's actually, I think, always an enemy in stealth. And so at that point, you know that there's an enemy in stealth over there because your cursor sticks on it like just a little bit. And at this point, I've used it enough to know what sticking looks like and what it doesn't look like. Stasis Beam and Missile Rack before Storm existed used to be a thing in beta. slow them at range and DPS them down, but today that's very unrealistic. But wasn't that also like before the energy capacities got increased? There was like, you kind of had a weird situation in terms of energy capacity. Missile Rack 8 was the highest missile rack. It was just a generally really good weapon, but like, you know, you had to fill up the rest of your energy somehow, so I think people used like Stasis Beam 16 on Panther. I seem to... that sounds familiar. Pod gun instead of Hornet. I haven't even used this build yet. I haven't even spawned it in. So I'm only open to changing this one right now, okay? Eclipse with pod gun and minigun, no. That's just like two different weapons for the sake of having two different weapons. I'm looking for hybrid builds more specifically around Suppressor 8. Or Suppressor 8 or 6 or 10 or whatever. Suppressor just in general. 24 was the highest. It was beta, so yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, how many 12 energy weapons were there? There was only like 2. Carbine and Stasis Beam or something like that. There were almost no 12 energy weapons. Gatecrasher with Disruptor and Suppressor. Well, the problem with Gatecrasher is that it's 32 energy. So in order to equip a Suppressor, I'd have to get rid of at least half of my damage output. And then the Suppressor only reduces the enemy damage output by, like, about half. So, like, I don't actually gain an advantage here. In this case, I reduce my damage output by about a third. Not because I'm using a Suppressor, but because, specifically, I'm using an 8 and 16 in terms of energy. If I was using two 12s here, one Suppressor 12, one Minigun 12, I wouldn't be giving myself any type of advantage because I'm losing half of my damage output, suppressing the enemy, and giving them half damage output as well. So at that point, it's just like neither person has an advantage. But in this case, I technically have an advantage because I'm reducing their damage output by about half, but I'm only reducing my damage output by a third. Orion. Yeah, alright, sure. Excuse me. Okay. Shield piercing, let's go with damage percent. Damage reload, that's pretty good. And then, in terms of skins, are there any good ones? I don't really have any good Orions. I mean, this is a good Orion skin, but, like, name me one weapon that looks good with this skin. Like, actually. Or I guess I should say a weapon that matches this skin, like the vibe that it has. It doesn't exist. There aren't any. Sure, I'll go with this one. It's like pretty linear right there. Anyway. You're not gonna spam, but if you have to, you will. Okay, well, I'm gonna time you out. It's like... Honestly, dude. Come on, like, don't be like that. I'm not going to listen to like, I can't use everybody's suggestions. I'm gonna miss some people's suggestions. But even if I saw all of them, I'm not necessarily gonna be able to use all of them. To basically just be like, I'm gonna spam if you don't do my thing right now. No, sir. Get timed out. Well, both of these technically have a radius. The radius is very, very sad, but it technically has a radius. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die to a Carbine Eclipse. We don't talk about that. That is absolutely abysmal. That's so sad. I'm gonna try to not die with this. Okay. Tetra with that skin, you say? You might be right. You might be right. It's been a minute since I used. It's been a minute since I used Tetra. I'm over here thinking like, oh, I'll just suppress his damage. I literally cannot take damage without dying. I do make my dome significantly heftier, like by comparison. Alright, alright. Really? I didn't even kill him with that? Okay. You're fine. You're fine. That's why you told me to use Podgun? Yeah, but I never even tried this. I wanted to at least give it a chance. Like, somebody else already suggested. I'm not gonna, like, immediately change it to something else. I don't know. Were you the one who originally suggested Hornet? If you were, then I'm sorry. I would have changed it, but I couldn't remember if you were the one that originally suggested it. So just for the sake of argument, I was like, yeah, you know, I don't want to take away this guy's suggestion just for the sake of, like, someone else immediately suggesting something else before I use it. Just to try to be fair. You must use a carbine now. I was just using carbine. Get 'em, fellas. I believe in you. Nah, bruh. I was thinking of trying to go across. I don't think it would have been a good idea. I'm gonna do this. I mean, that's a kill shot. I kind of have to focus down the kill shot. No. Wait. I'm alive. We're not winning currently. We're not yet. I got him with this abomination. Go for it. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. There's a bot right there. Wait. Let's go. There's a secret right there. Okay. Shh. Don't worry about it. No. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Really? There's still 3 of them left. What? No. Really? Why are you... Did he or did he not just teleport onto me while I was in stealth? That's the thing that he did, right? Like, that's definitely the thing that he did. Stop! You're a piece of crap! Jesus Christ, dude. You guys saw that. You literally teleported onto me while I was installed. Whatever. Least annoying Hemlock. Yeah, I know. POV players that tell you that 2v2 is skill-based. It's just them with a Hemlock stunlocking everyone. Alright, well, I did use this. I will change it to Podgun. Because at least it's better. Damage reload. Cooldown. Suppressor reload. Very nice. Podgun also only requires 2 implants, so that's not bad. I want to give the rest of these a fair shot because I used them for like 15 seconds, and also, I mean, my man was just, like literally just violated my shadow while it was in stealth. He teleported onto it. Suppressor with disc launcher. I mean, it could work. I don't know why it would, but I suppose it's technically possible. You use Dread Shot Thermal Lance for Tengu. It sounds OP. Yeah. Okay, he's in a surge, because, like, nobody has any class. I'm gonna get him 5 times. Can I mark him before it hits? I cannot. I get it then, though. Very nice. It's pressed 4 times. That's not bad. I mean, I can boost my damage output by like a frick ton. Hey, stop that. Go away. Stop. Really? Yeah, see, that's the problem with this is no damage output. He does have a thing that'll boost his own damage, but I can maybe even kill him. Yeah, that'll kill him, I think. Someone get the bacon, please. The Hemlock was garbage, too. I agree. I swear, like... Is it just me, or did Hemlock bots literally not exist in that match until just then, right at the end, right when it would have been a pain in the ass? Like, is it just me who literally did not see a single Hemlock until just then? I mean, clearly there's a Hemlock here, but... Stop. Really? Stop. Oh, I got him with the radius. That's a first. Okay, bye-bye. I should probably reload both, to be honest. Where is this player anyway? I have not seen him, except for like right at the beginning, really. Wow. Imagine having Dread Shot and it also being suppressed. Wait. Excuse? What is that? Okay. I bet you I could tank a full mag at that. Very cool. Oh, he had a Revoker, a maxed Revoker search. Alright then. I'll bet you my Hemlock bots violated him. It was probably this one specifically. We don't talk about that. Oops. Suppressor literally does no damage. Yeah. You should always, like, you should just assume that the suppressor in any hybrid is going to deal 0 damage, and it's going to be mostly accurate. But so long as you're fully suppressing somebody, you're losing like a third of your damage in this case if you're using an 816. But if you're suppressing somebody fully, they're losing like 50% of their damage, so they lose more than you do, which is nice. Hemlock Tetra Suppressor. I mean... Okay. I'm gonna get rid of that. I want to put the Tetra on the right side. Kind of bugs me otherwise. The Tetra should be at the top, yeah. Do I have... Oh wait, tried to put on a Tetra 6 because I don't have Tetra 8. That's crazy. I keep forgetting. Alright, cool. Cooldown, delay, damage and reload, I suppose. And then the damage drain percent, I could be using that on something else. No, you're already using a lot of implants. Maybe this. Maybe this. Because I could reduce their damage by even more, and then reduce the damage with the ability. It's kind of crazy. Alright, cool. I'm gonna use, sure, this one looks decent. Lancer Suppressor Viper. Okay, like, I'm looking for, like, builds that could potentially work. I think we both know that that is not even remotely close to working. Let's start with this one. Hey, buddy. Where are you? Hi, Mech 2023. That's not the year today. Alright, let's see. Is this fine fellow? Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's unfortunate. Somebody's... Oh. Some alarm. Let's go! Don't do it. He's not doing a lot of damage to me. I mean, that's the point, I suppose, but... My shields are gone, though. It's not great. Let's try to get past that area. I mean, one of them... Flower power. One of them is bound to try to come down here, right? Like, certainly. Hey there, buddy. Why is... Okay. That's strange. My Ember 16 Evelyn wasn't really doing any damage. Hey. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead. Get him. Oh. My man spawned and got immediately... he got immediately just destroyed. Alright. Disc Launcher Panther. Build of OP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I died to the Onyx. Yeah, fair. I was kind of afraid that Onyx was gonna see me and mess me up. Shadow. How am I doing? Not great. Get him. Get him. I got him. Flower power, don't do it. Oh, okay. Well, this guy has some... He sees my build. He's like, oh, wait, hold up. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. I don't really need to suppress him, because that's just the fact that he's using Hornets. He's basically suppressing himself. Very cool. Poor guy. Really? You stole my kill? It's not very nice, you know. We finally won. Let's go. Let's go. Definitely didn't get carried. Why this? Hello. 3 kills. It's not good. It's not good. We'll say, I mean, it's, yeah. No, we'll just, I mean, it's, yeah. That's fine. Use credits. Do I even want to use credits on anything? Probably not. Fortune keys. That's so cool. What would I use them on? Probably nothing. I think I have all the skins. Alright, so we did use this. Are you trying hybrids with Suppressor? Yeah. Howler 16 Suppressor 8 Mimicker? Why would I use a Mimicker that's like not even close to full energy capacity? Mimicker has 32 energy, I hope you know. I could use 2 16s on it. But Suppressor 16 doesn't exist, and even if I did use a Suppressor 16, it wouldn't be a good idea. So let's stick with light and medium mechs, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Lancer, Suppressor, and Stormrack. Fine. Wait, do I mean, I do have Stormrack 10, but what rank is it? I mean, okay. I guess that's not the worst. I probably don't need to take the implants off manually anymore. Shield damage radius. Maybe I do actually want shield damage. Just because, I mean, what other implants would I even need on a Lancer? Kind of none. So I'll just go all in on the that. Yes. Cool. No thanks. I mean, this died immediately. I'm willing to give it another shot. This I did use a bit though, so I could use this. Graviton Zephyr. Oh. Okay. Graviton Suppressor Zephyr. So I don't foresee this one being good at all. And the reason is because, well, I mean, I probably shouldn't have to explain it, but the reason is mostly because Graviton takes a really long time to implode, so you actually really want 2 of them to be able to just shorten the implosion time. So you can deal all of that damage quicker. Cooldown, I might even go duration, yeah. And then in terms of these 2, I could put the suppression on this, but nah, I think I'm fine. I actually think I prefer cooldown, duration, radius, and then just raw damage. On this build specifically, I could do a different one. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then this one we did kind of use, so I'm okay doing this one as well. Once again, medium mechs, please. Howler, Suppressor, Cheetah. Okay. Alright, let's go Howler damage, howler reload, howler range, ability damage. That's probably the best way to do it, right? Like, certainly. I could do suppressor. You know what? Let's do drain percent. Fine. Let's do drain percent. Do you get the full damage reduction with one suppressor equipped? Yes. So, basically each shot reduces it by a certain amount. If you're using 2, then you can just apply it twice as quickly. But, a full magazine will fully suppress somebody. After 6, then it just doesn't, like, 6 is the absolute most number of times that you can apply it. And then after that, like, you gotta wait for it to time out. So if you had 2, you can keep someone suppressed literally forever. But, actually with 1, I think you can as well, because the duration's not too bad. The duration's like 5 or 6 seconds, and then the reload speed's only 6 seconds, so with a reload implant, you can do it pretty easily. But yeah, basically it just takes a little bit longer to apply because you have to shoot the full magazine. Hemlock. I'm already using a hemlock build right now. Okay, so wait until I've actually used this one. I might do it later. Escape, you gotta go. Okay, no worries. That's very fancy. Sure. Orion with Savant. Just, like, no hybrid, just Orion and Savant. Oh, no, you said earlier Savant and Suppressor. Yeah, I might do that after. You're gonna have to remind me, though. Are these all bots? They are. The game decided that I did really bad, and that it needs to give me bots so that I don't do quite so bad. But that's okay. Can get some of these builds out of the way. Benny G. Oh my god, look at that gamer build, bro. Look at that gamer build. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Best Surge build confirmed. Ghost rifle. Pow, 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 pow. I literally barely killed that. It's an Orion, by the way. Orion's not exactly known for being tanky. And I barely killed it, bro. We'll take RPG. Oh, I'm scared. I'm real scared. I feel like I could have killed him with the, Stop. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. Get out of here, stupid killshot. Since when? No, wait, that's a player. There's a player disguised as a bot. I was misinformed. Place. I'm dead. I'm dead. Yep. I don't think bots use rocket mortar kill shots, and they definitely don't act like that. That's okay. I can get him. Just need to figure out where he is. Stop. He's a piece of crap. That's what's up. Yeah, he's right there. You guys see him? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, he did. Alright, cool. I'm dead. We're winning. I'm gonna beat this guy. Surely. Hey. Have you ever thought about not doing that? Yeah, I didn't think so. Pew, 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 bye-bye. Oh, it's because I'm out of range. I was gonna say, like, I thought I could hit him. Where's my boys? What a freaking nerd. He's disguised as a bot. That's a bot name. And there's no way that's not a player. That's crazy. This guy. Yep. See? Called it. Man. I'll tell ya, bro. It's the kill shots. It makes you do some very questionable things. Which is better, Oracle, Viper, and or Overdriver? Overdriver, and then Oracle, and then Viper. People think that Viper's really good. I don't think it is. I think it's actually like... I think it's actually kind of bad. But everybody insists that it's like a super great weapon. I think it's just because it's new and everybody wants it to be good. Because they want an excuse to get it. How can someone use rocket mortars on that map on top of that starter mech? I think you mean on top of that, having it as a starter mech? I mean, like, try to explain the mind of a killshot user. You can't. Like, they don't think very much. It just doesn't happen. It's not a thing that happens. Okay, well, I used all of these, actually. So I'm okay. I'm okay getting a completely different hanger. Gemini Suppressor Secret. It's so dumb. But actually, Seeker's one of those mechs that might do kind of good. Well, the problem is that it takes a bit of time to apply. Excuse me. It takes a little bit of time to apply the suppression. But Seeker's generally, like, it's kind of weak, and it relies on brute firepower. But when it teleports, it's forced to teleport basically in somebody's face, which is like not super ideal a lot of the time. If you could reduce their damage output, that could actually be pretty decent. So let's try it, and then I'll also go bonus damage, of course. Very cool. And then I'll use this one because I rarely use it. Nomad Revoker Suppressor, probably one of the better builds. You're probably right. You're probably right. I'll try it. I think it's worth trying. It's worth trying. Let's see. Yeah, it's up here. Revoker damage, cooldown. Let's just go with... Do I need reload? I don't really think I do. Let's just go with ability damage, to be honest. And then in terms of skins, this one. Orion Suppressor Stormrack. I guess so. I'm not sure Orion's one of those mechs that really needs Suppressor, though. Like, yeah, I guess it could use it in some cases, but... I feel like it's just, like, the ability helps it kill things just so fast that it kind of doesn't matter. But let's try this. We'll go Shield Piercing. And then instead of Radius, we'll go cooldown. Very cool. Surge Hellfire Suppressor, is that what you're trying to say? Because it's a gamer build right there. Orion with Savant, you said earlier. You did, but I saw the other guys first and I forgot about, you know what, fine, whatever. I'll do yours first. Only, not because you said it first, but because I agreed to do it beforehand and I just forgot about it. I'm not gonna be able to do everybody's. Like just because you say it doesn't mean I'm necessarily gonna be able to do it. Just so we're clear. But this is fine because I could do all the Savant implants and then shield piercing. That's not bad. Alright, what's another? Would I invite you to play if you hopped on? Probably not, realistically. Because, like, I'm trying certain things. And you'd either, like... It's pretty fair likelihood that you'd steal a lot of my kills. Not that it's your fault, but basically I'm just saying, like, it's a better... I kind of would prefer to see this in a 1v1 with bots situation than with like a 2v2 with bots situation. Because that gives me a better idea of how the builds perform individually as opposed to like other things. You have a question. That question better be really important to keep spamming that. If it's not important, I'm gonna time you out. Surge Strike Rocket Suppressor. Wait. Somebody else said Surge something. They said Parasite Overdriver. Okay, actually, I like that. I thought someone else said Surge, and it looked like they were saying Hellfire, but I don't know, and I'm not sure they ever responded when I asked about it, or at least I didn't see it. Alright, we're gonna have this as the last one. You're not being used, so I may as well. Yeah, you're being used, okay. And then instead of Burnout, I'm gonna go Redirection Damage, I guess? Or should I go Cooldown? I might even go Cooldown. I feel like Cooldown's probably more important. Okay, and then this last one, unless I did like a Heavy Mech or like a 14 energy weapon. Because some people are saying Mimicker, just for the sake of argument. What's a Mimicker one? Then let's 1v1 now. If you buy a gold pass for season 40, then do I have to buy it again for season 41? Yes. It's only for each season. That's a good question though. I won't time you out. Don't spam though next time, please. That was you, and you meant to say Surge Strike Rocket Suppressor? Alright, well, I'll try to remember to do that next time. Which is better, please tell me in sequence? Oracle Viper and Overdriver. I already answered. It's not my fault that you weren't paying attention. Come on. Why do I even bother answering questions if you're not paying attention? Legitimately. Well, it's 1v1. If I lose, you can time me out for a while. I could just time you out right now. What's stopping me? Nothing. I can time you out whenever I want. Stop spamming. Like, you don't... Like, chill a little bit. Lockhorn Gemini Strike. I mean, this last build has to be something random anyway, so yeah, sure. Oh, I forgot I have... Wait a second. One guided here, one guided here, so I'm stuck with a Neymar. And I don't have Gemini implant. Oh, wait, I mean, I do have that, technically. But that's okay, because Lockhorn has really good implants. And it's nice to be able to use them. So I'll just use Strike Rocket damage and reload. And then we'll just do that. Very cool. You got Parasite from the community post, and it's really worth it. I mean, you get it from the community post, but you bought it after seeing the community post. Fair enough. It is one of my favorite mechs. I mean, it's just really fun. Chew puppy. Sure. Yeah. Let's start with this. I think everyone expects this to be one of the better ones. Okay, there he is. What does he have? Is that a kill short? It is a kill short. Hello. Bye-bye. What am I taking damage from? Oh, that's the Hornet Venom damage. Why did that actually seem like... It was kind of... The damage was kind of flying down. Or the HP, sorry. It was kind of flying down. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit scary. Hello. It's okay. I'll have this guy shoot at me instead. Yeah. Did he die? No, he's over there. Okay, now he's done. Are you gonna be able to kill him? I feel like you should be able to kill him without much issue, my guy. Hey. Okay. Yeah, fun fact, if you shoot a Revoker at a Parasite, and then you either die from the ability or whatever, the ability ends, like once from the initial hit, then it'll still do the back. It'll still do the back hit and deal damage after the ability is gone, so you can actually do a lot of damage to Parasite that way. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Good job, bot. I'll just... Yeah, no, this is fine. Managing... These are two very, very different weapons, so it's like... It's sort of confusing to try to manage both of them. Hey there. Don't worry about me. I'm just chilling. Oh, wow. He actually didn't take as much damage as I thought he would. I guess, to be fair... There we go. To be fair, I don't have the redirection implant. Yeah, okay, he's dead. Nice. It's not doing bad. It's not doing bad. Oh. Man, every time I'm in a Parasite, some bot spawns with a Graviton Beam. They know. They actually do know. It's crazy. Hey there. What is that? Did you see him freaking jumping? Stop. You're killing your friend. Okay, bye-bye. I should read that sooner. Very cool. Hornet Melted Nomad. I think it does bypass resistance, right? Maybe? I don't remember. It might not. It bypasses Galvanic Hull for no reason. Even though, like, Galvanic Hull has one job, and it's to absorb damage like that. Which is kind of dumb. Like, Hornet needs all the help it can get, sure, but I feel like it shouldn't apply to... I feel like it shouldn't bypass Galvanic Hull. Because it's like, otherwise, like, what's the point of it? What would your be... Bleh, if I can speak, what would be your opinion if Plarium re-added Mech second copies? My opinion would be very, 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 very negative. One of the few things that keeps the game's meta in check is the fact that you're forced to use 5 different mechs. And for the most part, 5 different... I mean, the weapons already. I kind of have a problem with the fact that every single weapon has enough energy variations to make 3 different builds of 24 energy. I think that's genuinely a problem, and that shouldn't happen. If you use double 10s, then you're losing out on a bit of damage output. And you could use 4, which a lot of people did. You're gonna get Redux in 2 days, that's crazy. There's one quest I want to ask. If you fire with stasis beams just before your ability stasis ends, does it stop it from ending, or does it just start filling the status bar? I think it starts filling the status bar. Because they're technically different effects, right? Redux doesn't apply stasis, it applies corrosion, which includes stasis. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it would end up. I've used stasis beam Redux before, and I'm pretty sure it would just, like, fill up the new status effect. Because, like, the effect symbol is different. Plarium's idea to lower the price of rare and common mechs is the most common sense move. Bro, I know, and the fact that there's some people who are like, actually, this doesn't immediately help me specifically, so I think it's a bad idea. And I'm actually upsetty spaghetti that other people are going to have it easier than I did. Like, you can't have this, like, I want everyone to suffer like I did. You can't have that mentality. If you legitimately want the game to get better, you cannot have that mentality. That's stupid. The game would never progress if that was the case. Now, obviously, I'm hoping that they reduce the price of everything. But even, like, if they do, it's not just a, like, you know, they're reducing the price of everything by the same amount. No, I think they're going to reduce the price of common stuff by more than the uncommon stuff, and by more than the rare stuff, and especially the differences in upgrade prices. Not just the purchase prices are like whatever. The purchase prices were also already pretty, like, they were already a bit cheaper, but specifically in terms of upgrade costs, rank up costs, the purchase and upgrade costs of lower energy weapons, like let's say 6 energy weapons, as opposed to 12 energy weapons. Like most of the time, the 6 costs the same as the 12. No, I mean not always, but for the most part, it does. Except for, like, I think recently they've been reducing the price of the 6 in relation to the 12 a little bit, but also a lot of the 6s, in terms of free-to-play, a lot of the 6s are credits, and then the 12s are A coins. So it's like I don't know, maybe it's not the best comparison. But we could make the same comparison, like 8 and 16, right? Like the 8 energy weapons cost basically the same amount as the 16 energy weapons, and that's stupid. 16's clearly double the value. I mean, once you upgrade it, it's clearly double the value. So at very least, even if they made it the same cost, they should at least reduce the upgrade cost of the lower energy one. And they're doing that, and that's great. And I do genuinely think, like, if people want my specific opinion on it, I only used these two, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Go ahead and suggest some things, and then I'll just pick a couple. But I'll mostly just be talking about this for a second. But if you want my specific opinion, I do think that they're actually going to reduce the cost of epic and legendary stuff, because I think what they already see is that there is a wall. There is a progression wall. When you're playing the game, you're getting stuff, and then all of a sudden, it's just stupidly difficult to progress. I see that on my free-to-play account. I got from tier 1 to tier 4 in basically no time at all, but then it's just like progression just stops. It's super, super difficult to keep progressing. And that's an issue. People don't really like that. And I think that making it, potentially making that wall more steep by only decreasing the cost of low tier stuff, I think that that's not a good long-term move, and I think that they know that. I think at this point, they could have lowered prices of a lot of stuff a long time ago, but they didn't. I think at this point, they're now just like, okay, we're going to actually work on trying to keep people playing, because, like, people don't play this game. They really don't. There's very few people who even play. Bastion, Suppressor, Graviton. Graviton's a weird choice, but I do feel like Bastion's one of those mechs that could do really, really well with Suppressor. Did I pass it up, or where was I just having the 6? No, it's right here. Well, yeah. I do think that they're probably going to reduce the prices of everything, but they kind of want to see what goes on by just by reducing the cost of the lower tier stuff. I can sort of understand it, but even if they don't, it's like, so what? It's not like anything bad is happening. It's just that the people who decide they want to upgrade some silly stuff don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Like, good for them. They now understand they don't have new players joining the game. They have all of the data always. I don't think it's a matter of they don't understand. I think it's a matter of what they think they can afford to do. And at this point, think about all of the updates that they've been rolling out recently. There was the improvements to the implant system, making them much more accessible. Over the past 6 months, you've seen a lot of things making a lot of things better, frankly. And I think they've been slowly working on that. But reducing prices of stuff is the biggest thing that they're going to do, and it's also going to be the last thing that they're going to do, because by keeping the prices high for as long as possible, obviously they're getting more money from it. So they want to make sure that they're keeping the prices high for as long as possible. But if they know that they have to reduce it at some point, they're gonna just do the other stuff first and then just reduce prices later. That's what I think is happening. I think that they've known they have to, and they've just been rolling out other stuff first. And now they're finally getting around to the prices, something that they've, had to do for a while. Need to ban the spammer. Okay, sorry, hold on. Do I not see him? What's he spamming? Oh, yeah. Don't keep spamming, bro. I will time you out. If he says it again, I will. Hellfire, Suppressor, Surge, sure. Part of the reason I'm okay doing this is because, like I said earlier, hold on, that's a 6 that I'm looking for. Like I said earlier, double Hellfire doesn't mean double damage output. It's double your base damage, but then the effect damage doesn't get doubled by using 2 of them. That's the reason Graviton Beam is so much better than any of these other effect, like, damage status effect weapons, by the way. Is because Graviton Beam, it has no ability or it has no effect duration. And the fact it has no effect duration means that double the Graviton Beams does equal double the damage. You apply it twice as fast, which effectively ends up meaning that you do twice the implosion damage. Do you think the price will decrease 50%? I'm not sure about that. I think that... I mean, I guess I don't know. For common stuff, maybe. For common stuff, maybe. I'm expecting, like, if they do reduce legendary prices, I'm kind of expecting that it's going to be something around... I'm expecting something around, like, 20 to 30% for legendary stuff. Which means it's going to go from, like, 9,000 to buy a mech down to, like, 6,000. Maybe. That's the price range that I think is the most reasonable, and I think that a lot of people agree with me. So if they're going off of, like, the survey that they did a while back, then that might be what they're doing. But also, I mean, maybe that's also just, like, wishful thinking, right? So, I don't know. It's kind of impossible to tell at this point. Will they decrease the Tengu compensation? Yeah, probably a little bit, but I feel like that's kind of the least of your worries. Really? I already lost all of that HP? Okay. Where's their play? Yeah. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Hello. But the Tengu compensation's based on the price in the gear hub. Okay. Which is 11.25, so it like fully compensates you for everything. So if they do reduce how much it costs, then yeah, it's also going to reduce that. I know some people are saying like, oh, the reason that they're adding this, the reason they're making stuff cheaper is to reduce the compensation. It's like they, you know what also would have reduced the compensation? Literally just not adding Tengu to the thing. They could have easily done that. Why in the world do you think that they'd spend all of that time making it hard for themselves just to add something just for the sake of making it less? I don't know, bro. Brother, stop. Thank you. Oh no. Oh no. Please. Please. So crispy. Okay. Anything you still need to wank. Don't think too hard about that. Rank up that you're waiting for. Myself personally, no, I mean, not on this account, no. I probably will, like, it's very, very possible that I end up buying and or ranking some things up on my free-to-play account, though, depending on how that goes. Like, just for the sake of fun. Could be really, it'd be really nice to be able to use, like, a Tengu, for example. But since it's only rank 3, it's kind of difficult. Stop. It's so unnecessary. Okay. Man, his bots are kind of aggro. Jeez, dude. Oh, my bots are kind of aggro. They have his back beacon. That's crazy. I wasn't even paying attention. Let's go. Hey there, buddy. Oh. It's not the best. Okay, nice. I can keep him from doing that much damage. There's so many guys over there. Like, everybody's over there. It's all party. The whole gang's over there. I feel like all my bots are dead, though. If they're not dead yet, they will be soon, I think. Stop. Okay. Eh, well, hold on. We might be okay, though. Hold on. He has a secret. Of course he has a secret. We're gonna lose a... That's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. Where'd the Bastion go? Okay. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that, buddy. Stop. Oh, really? He wins. Okay, that's crazy. Can you make a playlist of all the songs used in the background of streams? It's just one. It's literally one thing. Like, I got this from a different playlist. I'm just replaying someone else's playlist, and I'm pretty sure it's in the description even. Music from YouTube audio. Okay, no, it's not. It was at one point in my descriptions. I don't remember. Do I still have it? I might not. It's not that. It's not that. Yeah, I think I just removed it after a while. It used to be there. And then I took it out because, like, I didn't very often use. Because I just use the same description as I do for my videos. But I don't often use that music for anything except for when I'm streaming. Like, I don't use it for videos very much. Since this is a hybrid stream, what do you think is the most legitimate way to use Neymar for a hybrid? Most legitimate way to use Neymar for a hybrid. Guided and close quarters don't go together at all. It'd have to be Assaultant Missile. But I don't really know of any assault weapon that acts as like a modifier weapon. Right? Missile. Like, there's plenty of ways to do hybrids with, like, you know, Ember Gun and Revoker, like two of the same weapon. But strictly using two different weapons. Yeah, the only potential modifier assault weapon is Oracle with the reveal status effect, but the reveal status effect is like actual balls. It's so bad. Missile also doesn't really have a modifier effect, or like no modifier weapon. Hornet is like not the worst, but I think lower energy Hornets do lower venom damage. Yeah, like significantly lower, so it kind of doesn't matter. So then guided and close quarters. Maybe guided with Gemini? Because Gemini is a decent modifier weapon. In the sense that it applies weaken and stasis, and it does a stupid amount of damage, to be honest. So that could be good. Although requiring a lock-on and also being close quarters is like not great. And then using the close quarters as the modifier weapon is also not great. I mean, I would guess it'd have to be something with like Gemini as the modifier and then like Revoker or something. Does a guided pilot give more damage to Viper rockets? It does not, no. Did they fix the Hellfire burn damage at different ranks? Yeah. Yeah, they did. What's funny is that overall it was a nerf. Because the only level, like the burn damage is now worse than it was before. I think it was, what was it? What was it? 60... It was like 65 that? I don't know. I don't remember. It was pretty... It was like close to this. But I think the only way to get more burn damage is if you have it, like now, is if you have it literally maxed out. I don't think even rank 6, level 6, I don't think you even get more burn damage. So overall, it was kind of a nerf. Which is sad, because like Hellfire, like it sucked before, and now it sucks even more. You can put the music in a pinned message. I don't think people care that much, so no, I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't believe that almost anybody cares. Let's run this. If you want it, try checking some of my streams from like a year ago. It should be there. It should be there. Or even some of my videos. I just don't remember what it was. Maybe I'll see if I can find it after this. Search. Do you think Orion price will decrease? I mean, not yet. Orion is an epic thing. Epic and Legendary are going to remain the same for now. Or at least for a while. Revoker Lace. Wait, don't you freaking dare! No! Of course. Of all the things it could have been, I was a Guardian. Of all the things it could have been. You're a nerd. I don't know if anybody told you that, but it's freaking true. It's true. Now, go away. There we go. Pew, 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 pew. Well, it's not doing great. Stop. Oh. Oh. I was gonna say, thankfully for me, Blockhorn bots just do their best to get away from their own shields for no reason, so it's just that. Alright, buddy. Hey. Do you mind not body blocking me for a second? Seriously! He exists to be in the way. He actually does. Alright, pal. Is he gonna kill this? The flamethrower Onyx, bro. And he killed him, too. He has one strike... Wait. No, I think a bot has Strike Rocket. Because I saw Strike Rocket, I was gonna say, like, hold on. Does he have one of each? But nah, no. It's a bot. Excuse me. Please no. No! What does that name even mean? Go away. I got some guided weapons for you, you little piece of crap. You know what I'm realizing is that actually my Strike Rocket takes longer to lock on now because it has to wait for the Gemini lock. Strike Rocket locks on way quicker than this. Stop. Pew, pew. It's sort of sad. I kind of wish that the slower lock-ons would be faster just by equipping a faster lock-on weapon. Like, it kind of makes sense. But I guess not. Hey. No. Okay. Yeah. No. It's a valid argument, I suppose. Okay. I did fire both of them, so they will connect. They do continue homing, even though he's in stealth, so that's nice. Oh, I got him with the thing. That's great. Hey! Dang it. Was that my last one, too? Yeah, it was. They did kill him, though. There's two of them. They're gonna mess him up. I mean, probably not, realistically. Oh, although. Ah! Did you see that? The Dread Shot bot absolutely violated that man. He stood no chance. I do wonder why he put his shield down and then immediately stepped away from it. You know? Because the only reason he died is because he stepped away from his shield. Panther's got 10 seconds base duration, and Blockhorn only has 7. So, like, he could have pretty easily survived that, I think. And he also put his shield down after, I think. It's like the Helix Jav bug, where if you use both of them, Javelin will get longer. Javelin gets longer range. Ah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I guess that's. See, that makes sense though. That makes sense though. You know, because like if one can lock on at longer range, then I think the other one should as well. It encourages like kind of strange hybrid builds, I think. But I also think it should lower the lock on time. Although, hold on. I mean, does that apply to all lock-on weapons? Do they all get the same range? Because, like, what is Gemini's max range? It's like 170. Could I use a Gemini and a Savant? The Gemini to increase the Savant's range, the Savant's lock-on range. Do you think? We're gonna have to try that now. Well, first I mean, I'll keep this build just because. No, you know what? I'll change it because the Savant is kind of closer to Gemini anyway. And then I'm gonna remove these implants because I'm gonna change this. Dread Shot Suppressor Nomad, okay. Where's Dread Shot? It's at the bottom, isn't it? Toward the bottom. Very OP. Certainly. Mag size reload. Yeah, those are both being used. I guess. Let's go with mag size. Like, there's the mag size is pretty large, and there's pretty much no chance that I survive more than one magazine anyway. Alright, let's get rid of this. I'm gonna start using ones that I think could be good. I think some of you guys have some, I don't know, not great ideas, I think. Let's go with... What is a decent... I don't really want Viper. Let's go with Overdriver, I guess. But I kind of want to try it on Stalker. Yeah, looks kind of weird. And then... oh, wait. I don't want this pilot anyway. This is beam pilot. And then you, sure. Cooldown. Well, I might even instead of that go with like heal %. The Predator drive damage boost doesn't work. The implant doesn't work. Just so everyone's aware. Gemini 8 Revoker 16 on Vortex. Alright, fine. Oh, and you want it with Neymar specifically? Okay. Oh, then Neymar's already on here. Let me get rid of that. Actually, hold on. No, I can just do that to equip it and then unequip that. And then Revoker 16, yeah. Okay, Revoker damage. And let's go with Gemini damage. Very cool. And then we'll use you with only the damage. I'm not even going to use the range. And the reload. And then we'll use the Gemini reload and the damage boost. Very cool. Theoretically, potentially, this Gemini has like a stupidly short range normally. But if using a Gemini increases that range, that would actually be kind of huge. It could be kind of huge. I'm not like that, so I'm keeping it. Blast RPG Gemini Surge. Blast RPG is OP. I can't be using OP stuff. All bots, that's fine. 160 Savant. I hope. I desperately hope. Hold on. Nope. It's because the lock-on is different. It's because it's a different lock-on, yeah. That sucks, bro. Although, like, what is a different weapon that has, like... Is there a different one that has, like, a relatively short lock-on range? I mean, theoretically, like a Helix rack. Oh, you ought not have stepped out of that, buddy. I got one long range and one short range. Pew, pew. You don't freaking want it. Look at this guy. Look at how much he doesn't want it. Freaking nerd. It's OP. This build specifically is incredibly, incredibly OP. Yeah. Yep. Ow, stop. Hi. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I miss using Savant. Savant's a really fun weapon. I'll be using it a bit when it becomes free to play. Trying out some stuff just to kind of see if there's any builds that kind of work. But for now, I don't think anybody really cares that much, so... Hey! What? Oh, okay. No. Okay. Really? Multi-layered? Yeah, that's fine. Use this anyway. Really? That EMP'd me. And then this other guy's gonna EMP me immediately too, isn't he? Oh my goodness, dude. They no chill. Zero chill whatsoever. There's so many surges. I'll get you long range, brother. What are you gonna freaking do? Nothing. Look at him, he's running away in defeat. Except he doesn't have any feet. Yeah, get out of here. Try with Helix then, yeah, I might have to. Strike Rocket too, but Strike Rocket has some decent base range. OP. I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to do against that kind of power? Nothing. Some people might believe you. That's it's natural selection at that point. Very cool. 10 kills. You've been using Minigun 10 and Thermal Lance 6 on your rank 3 Panther, and it's working surprisingly well at your SP. I'm not really surprised. Like, it's good to hear. But, like, a Thermal Lance and Minigun actually go pretty well together, because they're both, like, sustained fire weapons. And they both require you to, like, you know, get out from cover and fire directly at the enemy. So, you know, like, it kind of makes sense. They kind of work well together. All right, instead of you, let's try Helix Track, just because it has really, really bad range. It doesn't have a really bad range, but 90 meters is not 100 and whatever meters, so. No. I want damage and reload. Okay. Imagine if this also allows me to just, like, fire Helix Rack at somebody who's point blank. That would be hilarious. It's worth a shot now that I think about it. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Hornet pod gun for infinite pod lock-on range. No, I think that's per weapon though, because they don't have like a physical. There's no actual lock-on. It's just like the weapon itself homes in at different ranges. I think that's a different case. I could try it. I will try it, but I don't think it's gonna work. I meant to fire the other one. Okay, well I don't have. Nope. 20 to 90. Look at it. It says 20 to 90. That's so unfortunate. That's very sad. I wonder if it just, like, doesn't work with anything anymore. I wonder if like even like Javelin and Helix. It's just a net negative because like whichever one takes longer to lock on us, and that's just like the default lock on time. That'd be very sad. Classic Mech Arena though, you know? A random feature that you, like a random thing that you notice that could be cool, but just isn't cool because they didn't do it in an interesting way. And it's just like, that's Mech Arena in a nutshell, honestly. What does he have? Does he have an Eclipse? Any clip with minigun? Hello. My man got annihilated. But also there's these guys. Okay. This spot. Can I get... Yeah, I think I can get in there. Well, maybe not. It's a search. Don't do it. He's gonna think he's safe. Nope, you're not safe, buddy. Oh, no, don't shoot him. You know, thankfully for me, Blast RPG does no damage, so there was no way I was gonna die to that. Really? Okay. I gotta move, I gotta move. My bots are... Oh, okay. My bots are kind of taking some back beacons. Oh, well. I should have put that more in an angle. Max Blast RPG. I wish I had Max Blast RPG. Would be OP. Hey there. How are you? He's fine. Kind of surprised he... like, didn't even... Did he die? No, I guess he did. I don't know. Oh no, he didn't. Hi. Found him. Really? Oh my god. Revoker's Surge is kind of skill-based gameplay. I don't know if you knew that. Boy, oh boy, I sure do love Revoker's Surge. You just gotta play it right, bro. I mean, it's hard to use, you just gotta play it right. It certainly does not hand you the match on a platter simply for owning a couple items. They patched the funny tech. Yeah, I mean, that's classic. Mechs are so boring that 90% of people's favorite builds are super meta things. Yeah, but it's just like when most people say favorite, what they mostly mean is which one just gets you the most kills for minimal effort, right? It's the one, whichever, their favorite's usually just the one that carries them the most. And, yeah, so when people ask me what my favorite build is, I feel like most of the time what they really mean is what do I think are the most OP builds. That's personally I do think that that's what they mean. If Plarium would make more fun mechs and people wouldn't use exclusively the meta, I don't think that's necessarily true. Classic Plarium, although after the MTG buying Plarium thing could be better. I agree. I actually have some pretty high hopes for this year. And they've not been doing bad. I mean, like, think of all the things that they've done the past, like, 6 months. They removed, like, the implant, like, removal cost. It used to cost 8 coins to remove stuff. Now it doesn't. When you upgrade implants, they stay upgraded. That's really, really nice. They made it way easier to get implants. They did all that stuff for implants specifically. I'm trying to think. What else did they do? There's a couple other improvements I thought that they made, but maybe not. I think it was mostly around implants and pilots. But yeah, now they're actually addressing the cost of stuff. And that's really nice to see. I think, realistically, I do think if they're going to reduce the prices of epic and legendary stuff, I do think we'll probably see that later this year. Like, probably closer to, like, the anniversary. Actually, that probably would be, like, a really good time for them to do it, is around the game anniversary. To be fair, that's probably a good time for them to do it. Or around Christmas time, one of the two. But I don't think they'd do it around Christmas, because, like, it's basically making things cheaper for people who are going to be going on a spending spree. You're driving, so you're going to learn? Okay. Hello. Podgun plus destroy. It does remind me. Hold on. Should we try Strike Rocket and Helix Rack just to see if there's like 2 weapons that fire basically the exact same? I think we should. But then I'll also do... Yeah, for the sake of... like, what's the word? Thoroughness. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Just trying to be thorough here. I want to make sure that there's no combination that'll actually like make that work. It probably won't realistically, but I don't know. Some mechs, like, there are some things. It's like Savant can target targets like up to 3 enemies. But you can't like lock target on one specific enemy unless you're using an ability that has a like a homing aspect. You can actually lock onto one specific target if you use a mech with an ability like that. So that's interesting. I don't know. Garfield, hello. How are you? Most favorite builds equals builds that give you the most dopamine equals builds that give you the most kills. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised that people's favorite builds are the ones that carry them the most. That's why I don't think if Mech Arena made more fun stuff that people would use less meta. I don't think that they would. I think most people exclusively have fun just when they're winning. Is like the main thing that determines whether or not they have fun. And the level to which they have fun is dependent on the degree to which they beat the other person. You know. And I'm not saying that as like these people are bad people. I'm just saying like I'm assuming that's how most people work. I don't think I'm wrong to say that. That's weird. Oh, okay, no. It wasn't trying to put me in a squad with them. Theirs was green, mine was blue. But also, is it a... Oh, no. Okay, it's 3v3. I was gonna say, hello. Let's go, bro. Look at this absolute gamer. Oh, is that double tens? I like this guy. There's no way that build is gonna work, but I like it. Pow, 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 pow. Ah, okay. You know, that's fair. That kill shot, are you kidding me? No. Oh, no, you did not. He's over there. He's trying to hide. Like a little creeper. You cannot hide from me. No, sir. Okay, maybe you can. Please don't. Please. Okay, hold on. 90 meters is the helix range. Nah, I can't shoot. I can't shoot, even though I'm locked with strike rocket. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Very sad. Would be cool, though. I think, like, it even kind of makes sense. Bye-bye. Oh, what? I didn't even get to kill him. That's a crime, bro. Oh, he went back there. Time out the spammer. Who's spamming? This guy was a gamer. This guy was not because he quit. And then the other guy's just Robo-Grid Eclipse. I mean, enough said. Rank up a mech or a weapon one time. I mean, I don't think I'd have to do that and use 158 coins. I don't think I'm going to. No thanks. Oh, he sent it anyway. Is he in the stream? Imagine. Oh. I looked at this thing. I was like, okay, it's pretty meta hanger. But then I saw, like, wait, this is a Viper Panther? Oh, hell yeah, brother. Oh, okay. It's kind of a tanker hanger, but. Is he stacking it all on one thing? Yeah, it's like these two are really dragging it down. It's unfortunate to see. But then this one, this is like all rank 6, except for the Scorpius, but that's, yeah. I think that's permissible. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. Sure. Rank up Slingshot? Actually, you're not wrong. I could. But no, I'm not going to, because they're going to reduce the prices. Why in the world would I do that? I'll probably, like, depending on how much they reduce it by, I'll probably max it out after that. You're personally a fan of close quarters hybrids? Mainly Ember Gun with another. I mean, like, Ember Gun with Revoker. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the only hybrid that anybody uses. By last year, I'd say Plarium is really scummy. By now, I have some hope because they're doing better things for the players. Yeah. Well, they're also under new management, so that also helps. I think there's... I mean, I'm not going to say that, like, oh, yeah, everything's going to be, you know, perfectly fine, and it's, like, everyone's problems are going to be solved, but I think there's going to be some pretty solid changes this year, at least I hope so. I have hope, anyway. I haven't really used this at all. Oh, I need to test the pod gun and Hornet, don't I? The fact that they're lit like almost identical weapons, except one is a barrage and the other is missile, is kind of triggering. I'm going to use the barrage pilot, and the reason is because Hornet doesn't have a damage implant anyway, and half the damage is in the Venom, which does not get like the pilot boost doesn't stack on that anyway. Durability, no. Damage boost, always damage boost. And then I'll use this one. gosh, it's so nasty looking. How much more damage do you get when the weaken effect is on? It's 50%. So weaken is it makes enemies take 50% more damage. So it's like 1.5 times the multiplier. Which means if you're using, like, let's say Gemini 8, which applies stasis and weaken. So if you're using a Gemini 8 and a Revoker 16, it multiplies the damage by 1.5, which is essentially the same as using a Revoker 16 and a Revoker 8. Except it's all stacked into one projectile, so it will get through multi-layered shields much slower because it's stacked into one projectile and not split into multiple. But yeah. So, but it's essentially like it boosts this damage, also boosts its own damage. So Gemini does a good amount of damage per shot. I mean, it's this one's only rank 4, so maybe not so much, but yeah. So like it boosts. It's basically the same as using 24 energy of Revoker, but also potentially like 12 energy of Gemini, which is pretty good. Pretty good, but those hybrid builds do, like, they always do worse than double Revoker. Like, double Revoker is better, don't get me wrong. Any idea when Vortex will be in-game currency? No, I have no idea. The next one should be Hemlock. And then I think Vortex is right after that. But it's been a long time. It's been like 18 to 19 months. McAtee, hello. How are you? I might start with Normad. Gemini is probably the best Revoker hybrid, though. I disagree. Why would you not EMP me? He's right there. He could have EMP'd me, but he didn't. He doesn't do much damage because I reduce his damage by a ton. That was so strange. I was right in his face. Oh, did he used his ability to get there. I'll bet you that's what happened. I'll bet you that's what happened. That's why you don't use your ability to get there. Unless you have the, like, a cooldown enough to do it. Like, I was just a nomad, so I didn't care that much. But if you're a surge or something where, like, you killing someone is almost exclusively dependent on whether or not you have your ability, you absolutely can't afford to do that. Getting there quicker isn't worth it if it ends up costing you. The fact that he's spotted is actually, like, really nice for me right now. Pew. Pew. Alright, I mean, it's not doing bad. It's not doing bad, okay? I'll give it that. I'll give it that. Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. The other guy was stuck too, so... Pew, 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 pew. And the stasis also is, like, kind of nice because I can just kind of loop around people. For non-dash mechs, he says. Might be true. But even still, the fact that it requires a lock-on actually, I think significantly reduces the value because it makes it ineffective, fully ineffective against Eclipse, and mostly generally ineffective against Surge, and those are kind of the two biggest problems that you'll ever have. So, in general, I sort of disagree. But it can be good, it can be good. Uh-oh, okay. My game wanted to die right then. Really? He's that. No. I cannot allow you to exist with that thing. Okay. Okay. That's not... No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We ain't... I'm not about that life. Okay, where is he at? Where is he at? Oh, hi. Toasty, toasty. Ouch. You're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. That's good. I wonder if the DOT is not terrible. And it goes on for a while. I don't think it'll kill him, though. I don't think it will kill him. Ow. Shh, stop. I'll reload that. They still have one more. Bot game. I mean, pretty much. There was that player, but yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Okay. I mean, that's fair. EM Rifle Suppressor Onyx or Nade Launcher Suppressor Eclipse. So... Heavy mechs will never be good as hybrids. Unless they make some kind of different, modifier weapon. I didn't even use the Blockhorn, I don't think. Yeah, no, I didn't. But the reason they'll never be good as hybrids is because... Take this, for example. If I have a weaken... Like, there's only two different kinds of, modifier weapons that exist currently that are actually decent. Like, Stasis is technically a modifier weapon, but it's not, it's not effective. But there's two main kinds of modifier effects that a weapon could have. One is Weaken, which increases the damage that the enemy takes by 50%. And like I was explaining earlier, that essentially makes this do 16 energy worth of damage, but then also plus 50%, which is another 8. So it's essentially the same as using 24 energy of Revoker plus the Gemini itself. And so that's what makes it rather effective. But if you were to do, let's say, a 12 and a 12, then yes, your Gemini in this case would be doing more damage. But then you'd have a Revoker 12 that's being modified, and that would only add up to 12 and 6, like times 1.5. So it'd be 18 energy worth of Revoker. So you'd be reducing your main damage output, which is this one. And then your modifier weapon would be like more stacked up. And then in terms of this one, it's basically the same thing. This reduces enemy damage output by like 50%. But in order to use it, since the weapon doesn't do basically any damage, in order to use it, you have to equip it, obviously, which reduces your own damage output by, in this case, about a third. Well, it would be exactly a third, because I'm only able to use 2/3 of my energy with the single 16, because I have to use a single something else. But then when you put that on a heavy mech, you're stuck using 16 and 16. That's the best that you can do. There's nothing higher than 16, which means that you're basically in the situation like I talked about before, where it's like a 12 and a 12, where it's like, yeah, you're reducing someone's damage output by half with a suppressor, but then you're also reducing your own damage output by half, because half of your energy is being taken up by a suppressor. So there's kind of no point in using that. Unless specifically just to like increase your own tankiness, I guess. Like if your tankiness versus their tankiness was specifically more valuable. You know? I suppose there's probably some mechs that are like that, but I don't think there's that many. Has there been any significant discoveries with any of the hybrid builds? Not really. It seems like they removed anything that I've really discovered. There was like a really old thing where it's like if you use Javelin Rack and Helix Rack in this, like on the same build, it'll increase the range of the Javelin rack, because Helix rack has longer range, and it locks on at longer range. It seems like they removed that, and that's sort of sad. I'm deaf. Okay, then. That's good to know. I'll certainly inform my decisions later. Is Quantum Gun good? It's okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's not great. Buddy, cut that out. He's doing no damage to me. He's doing no damage to me, but I can't really do any damage back. Oh, he's got a Revoker Eclipse, of course he does. That's fine. I'll just use something different, something that's not that. Hi, stop. Where'd he go? Did he die? Oh, I think he died. He's all the way back there. That's really good. Because, like, I don't think I have anything that could really deal with an Eclipse. I mean, to be fair, all of my builds are hybrid builds, which require... They rely on status effects, and Eclipse obviously doesn't really care much about those. Oh, no. He's not dead. I lied. He just ran all the way back there and apparently took no damage. He was in the middle. I mean, like, does it matter that much? Like, I could probably rush him. Yeah, hello. Oh, he has a solid... That's pretty solid. A solid perimeter. Oh no, he's gonna kill me, I think. He's gonna kill me. Did small amounts of damage to him, but I think his mod's gone, so that's at least good. Let's go with this. Alright. I want to see... It does indeed not home in above 100 meters. I didn't think it would. I mean, think of something cool that you could potentially do with something, and just assume that that's not going to happen. Because the game doesn't like cool things. Oh, imagine I kill him. Imagine I kill him with this build specifically. I might even. Hey. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Let's go. Please, 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 please. Stop. Hornets OP. Don't do that. Okay, sure. We don't have any beacons, really. Somebody take this one. Please. They're taking all our back beacons. This guy over here is like on 12 HP. Really wanna... I don't know, I feel like he shouldn't have been able to EMP me. Unless my barrier was down, it might have been. I mean, that's nice. Thank you, Silver. They're both on like no HP. Nah, he wins. Hybrid builds are not good. Just so we're clear. I don't think that was ever was ever being disputed. What is that, Blancorn skin? Don't remember seeing that one. This one was around for longer than the other one was. This one, I think, came out when Blancorn first released. I just didn't really use it that much because I liked the new one better. But yeah, I got it. It's nice. It's nice. Looks very nice with certain weapons. Maybe Nomad versus Nomad, the Suppressor will win. It might. Like, theoretically, I think it probably would. But I don't know. So what I'll probably end up doing, I kind of wanted to do this anyway. What I'll probably end up doing is on the test server, when I get test server access next time, I will probably like test between those different builds. Surge and Nomad specifically, because Eclipse is pretty obvious. Yeah, the Eclipse is obviously going to not be affected by that. But yeah, no, it could be decent. It could be decent. I'm wondering like what it would necessarily, like how much it would affect certain things. Rifle Suppressor Juggernaut, no thanks. You just talked with a good friend of yours. Maybe Fragment Gun, Ember Gun, Surge combo is only viable in 5v5. I don't think it's a game mode. I don't think it's a game mode issue. If you're able to use Fragment Gun and Ember Gun on Surge and do well, it's exclusively because you're running it at low SP. There's no other, like, there's no two ways about it. Against anyone with like any type of decent mod shields, the multi-layer, it's like Fragment Gun only has 6 shots, so you're at most going to be able to take out 6 shield layers with a full magazine of Fragment Gun, so that's not gonna do great. Anyway, yeah, this one kind of surprised me. I kind of liked this one. The rest of them, I don't know. I might play around a little bit more with this or some other builds that I come up with, like I might record like a separate video on my own time. But yeah, not for now. I think I am done for the day. I know it's only been 2 hours. I haven't been going that long, but well, it's actually closing in on 3. But yeah, nah. I'm kind of over it. Suppressor would go good with everything, you think? I don't know about that. I mean, Suppressor doesn't do anything against Eclipse, so all someone has to do is just, like, exist with a Revoker Eclipse, like half of these people are that I'm running into. And it's just, like, automatically GG. Stormwrack Vortex. I mean, that's the best Vortex build, yeah. But in terms of, like, other things, like, in terms of, like, you know, not obviously meta, in terms of hybrid builds, I should say, this is one of the better ones that I've found. I might play around a little bit more with it, but yeah, and it doesn't include Suppressor, sadly. Although maybe, I mean, have I tried Suppressor? Maybe I should do like Suppressor or Revoker Vortex or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Take care.